Grab a beer and pull up a chair. Welcome to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. This is Mike, the Northwoods Beer Guy. And as you can tell, I believe that I caught a bug, or I caught allergies, but I'm thinking it's a springtime bug. So I apologize up front for my voice. But today, I am being joined once again by my lovely wife, Suzy.
Hello there.
How's it going today?
Good.
That's good. So today, well, first off, I want to kind of go back. Now, last week's podcast, we had recorded some at Between the Bluffs, and we had talked about 10 breweries in particular. You know, one thing that I forgot to mention is that O'so Brewing has come out with their own line of gluten-free beers. And a friend of ours is like,
She's got celiac disease, which is a crazy gluten intolerance. And she gets any gluten and it could send her to the hospital. So we have to be very careful when eating out, and especially when we enjoy a beverage or two.
Yeah. And so I remember the guy at O'so's booth made a special point to point out that these, I think there was 3 of them. Yeah. There's 3 that they were gluten-free, and then the ones on the other side of the table were their normal ones. And it was, what was the name of it? Meaningful. I'll look it up. Anyway, they had a lager, or like a dark lager, an IPA, and a sour. And it was kind of funny to me because the first thing that Noelle said was, when she took a drink, she was like, oh my gosh, this tastes like beer. You know, because they don't use sorghum in it. They use something else. And I can't remember what they said that was. I don't know if you remember or not. But they said it wasn't sorghum, and because that's what most other companies use in a gluten-free beer. And it changes the flavor. And so anyway, long story short, she enjoyed it. We had to go to the grocery store in La Crosse the next day, and I'm not exactly sure how many 4-packs she bought, but she cleaned them. She cleaned them out of that lager, and I think she bought 3 4-packs of the IPA as well.
Yeah, and interesting that they branded it differently than their normal beer. So it doesn't indicate that it's made by O'so. It's a different brand because they wanted to make sure that they separated the gluten-free from their normal beer. So just kind of interesting that their marketing, I guess, process and how they are doing that.
Was there any things that you tried there that you thought really stood out to you that we didn't cover last week?
There was a power, it was like a 0-calorie, 0-carbonated, what was it called?
Was that the one that had the coconut water in it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was made from coconut water.
What? It was good.
Mm-hmm.
I was
and
impressed.
It's available at Quick Trips. Yeah. Looks like it's in a Gatorade bottle.
Yes.
But it was very refreshing. Something that you could definitely...
And if I remember, it was 5% ABV, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
they had a lemon lime and I think it was a mango tangerine or something.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, that was interesting.
That was really good too.
So there's some interesting things that are coming out. Speaking of that, this week we've got some things that we picked up. And I know, Suzy, you're probably thinking, I can do, taste more than just cocktails in a can. But these ones seemed kind of interesting to me, especially since they were made by, 3 of them are made by Leinenkugels. I never even realized that they had these until basically a couple days ago. And once again, Quick Trip had them. So it was I guess a good thing that way. What else have we had going on? Oh, we got the camper open.
Yes, got the camper open. It was the Derby last week, so we did a little Derby party. Partook in a little of some mint julep bourbon.
Bourbon, yeah.
Not the actual mint julep cocktail, but mint julep flavored bourbon by Old Forester.
Old Forester, yeah. Because in the last couple of years and I don't know if I made them right or not. I've never had an actual mint julep to know what they are supposed to taste like. But, we made them in the past. People drank them, but again, I don't know if they were too sweet or not. I don't know, because I've never actually had a legitimate one. So it just seemed way easier to have this bourbon that was mint julep flavored. So
yeah, we had, I think the first time that we got interested as a couple in watching for the Triple Crown was when, I think it was American Pharoah when it was going for the Triple Crown, because there hadn't been one for years.
Right.
And we had taken a little road trip to a little vacation spot north of where we live. And ended at a little pub where they had, we had lunch and then watched the race there. And it was kind of neat because there were, a lot of people that were, tuned to the TV as well. And It was kind of neat to witness that in a different setting, and very cool. But this last Derby I thought was cool. One of the interesting facts was that every horse that was in the field was a direct descendant of Secretariat.
That's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. And the one that won it, Sovereignty, was actually descendant of not only Secretariat, but Affirmed. And there was another one. There was like 3 Derby winners that were in the lineage there. So that's kind of cool. But
so he's probably set pretty good.
Pretty set. Yeah. And I'm sure it was because we talked about it so much, but I have all sorts of feeds on my phone now that are talking about Secretariat and the different race winners. And it's kind of neat to kind of get some history and some back history on, you know, the horses that have won in the past. And it's just, you know, like Secretariat never... The records that he set in the 3 races will probably never be broken. I mean, it was just crazy.
I mean, he was the GOAT.
He was, yeah.
You know?
And I think I had heard at one time, wasn't his heart like extremely large for a normal horse or something like that? I think
so, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's pretty crazy. But, you know, and it's funny because, like you said, the Derby it seems like there's a lot more people are real interested in watching that one. But then, like, when I don't know if the Preakness is next, or I think it's the Preakness.
Preakness and then the Belmont.
But it doesn't seem like, you know, you don't have the pomp and circumstance like you do for the Derby.
Yeah. Well, it's because of the hats.
Yeah, I think so.
We always have a little hat party too at the camper, and everybody wears their favorite.
Not just us, but I mean, you know, every place. You don't hear of people having, let's have a Preakness party.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's always, let's have a Derby party.
Yeah. Well, I think that's because it's, you know, the first race of the year. And yeah. So it was a muddy one this year. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. I've never seen it where when the horse goes to the winner's circle, they're actually hosing them off before they get to the winner's circle. That was kind of weird.
Well, it was funny because when you showed me that one picture, he was just covered and I thought,
mud.
How in the world did he not get it in his eyes? Mm-hmm. You know, it was wild.
Yeah, the jockey had goggles, but not the horse.
Not the horse.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That was wild. So you know, it was good. So it's always interesting to me when you open up the camper or close down, but when you open up, there's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of work. So you always got to come home and recuperate from going up to the camper to have fun because you had to work your tail off to get it ready for the rest of the summer. So, so that's kind of where we're at there. So
yeah, we worked ourselves up to a thirst, but unfortunately had to get on the road, so we couldn't even partake. Yeah. So we waited until today.
Yes. There you go. Yeah. Well, yeah. So I guess let's talk about these cocktails in a can. So, like I said, I never realized that Leinenkugel's had a line of these, and we just saw that they came out with another one, but that's not out in the stores yet. So that we have the first 3, and they sound interesting. Now they're based on drinks. So the first one it's with Central Standard is the name. And I don't know if you hear that, but our kitty is deciding she's going to crawl around in the bar. So if you hear some crashing, you'll know what it is. This one, the first one we have is their Cherry Vodka Lemonade. And it's a ready-to-drink cocktail. Now, I think...
It's vodka-based.
It's vodka-based, but I was going to say, I think it's... Sure, they have the writing on there so small you can't... I think these are probably 5% is typically...
So it has a proof on it.
Yeah.
It says 16 proof.
Oh, so that'd be 8%.
8%. 8% by volume. Vodka with real lemon and Door County cherry juice.
There you go.
Ready to drink cocktail.
So I don't know if I was going to see if I could get some information on it, but we'll skip it and just go right to, I guess it is a little bit of a reddish tinge. I was thinking with cherry juice, it might be, a lot more red. But it's kind of a pinkish.
Kind of pinky.
Ooh, that smells like cherry.
Oh, it does. It kind of smells like a kitty cocktail.
There you go. I was trying to think, what does that smell like?
Cherry juice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very cherry.
A lot of cherry.
Mm-hmm. I can taste the vodka as well. It's a little flat for me.
I would agree. It seems like I definitely get the cherry. The lemonade's a little bit, I don't know if I get rid of the lemonade flavor. Do you?
No, not much.
Yeah.
It's more cherry.
More cherry. And then I do, like you said, I do taste the vodka, but it's like I almost am waiting for the bubbles. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the other ones we've had are more carbonated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it poured carbonated. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of bubbles when it came out.
There was a head on it, and you can when you look at it, you can see the bubbles coming up from the bottom, but it's just not, there's not a lot of carbonation to it.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say that I would drink a lot of these.
I would agree.
A little bitter on the end.
Yep.
Almost like a cherry pit.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, at first I was going to say, well, if it's hot out and on a cold day, I don't necessarily know if I would reach for one of these if it was in the cooler per se. I mean, it's not offensive or nothing, but it just kind of leaves you wanting a little bit something more, so it's not bad, but I guess I don't think it would be my first choice right now.
Even though it is the first one in the line.
Right.
It's number one right now. But...
It is right now. So, our score from 0 to 5 by 1/10 of a point. What do you think for this one?
I don't know. The more I drink it, it's not as bad as the first couple tastes. I might do like a 2-1.
Okay. I was going to say I'm at like a 2-3 is what I was thinking, a little below average. But you're right. When the closer to and we're doing taster glasses, so they're not, it's not a huge amount. But the closer to the bottom I got, it did improve a little bit. But again, I guess to me, it just seems like it was missing something. Like, I don't know if if it would have been a little bit more carbonated or not. I don't know. But it's just, that's my opinion. It just seemed like it was a little bit lacking. I did enjoy that. I mean, I like cherry flavor, and you could definitely taste the cherry. But I guess that's...
Yeah, I would say it's... I think it may be the lemonade that's given it a little bit of the funk taste.
Could be, because I didn't taste or pick up much of a lemonade flavor, though. That's the sad part.
I wonder if we should have rolled it.
Yeah, we'll try the next one and do that. It could be. I don't know. Now, it's because we've had, everybody's had like vodka lemonade before and all that, and maybe not cherry, but I was just expecting to have more of a lemonade flavor, to be honest. I thought the cherry would be the secondary flavor.
Yeah. I mean, the cherry smell, I think, was more prevalent than the actual taste. I mean, I like the smell better than I like the taste of the cherry. I'm not a huge cherry person, but like the fruit, I would pass in a line. I mean, I wouldn't eat like raw cherries.
Right.
However, kitty cocktails
well, that's
or
different.
Dirty Shirley's. Yes, I could definitely do that. Our daughter, when she was little, she used to call them Mary Moo cows.
Yeah.
I don't know why or where she got them from.
Or whatever, but.
Yep.
So that was always.
I have a Mary Moo cow?
That was always funny. So too much fun. Well, before we have the second one, a little bit of a story. And it also involves our daughter. So there's two. The next two are actually a variation of an old-fashioned. And apparently in Wisconsin is the only state in the union that has like mix in an old-fashioned, apparently.
That doesn't mix her. The rest of them are just straight booze. Or like booze and vermouth or booze and bitters
I can't remember if it was...
The first one we had was in Peoria.
Right.
Yeah.
And... she had ordered one and she took that first sip and she was like,
ooh, I think I need a pop.
She goes, Dad, taste this. And I'm like, okay. And I tasted it. I'm like, yeah. She's like, what's wrong with it? And I go, that's how other places make it, that there's no,
it's more like a Manhattan versus,
So it was funny. And then, in Missouri, they do the same thing.
Yep.
So, she had one someplace and said that she had to, whoever made the bartender gave her like a can of pop with it or something. Cause, she was like, oh, thank you. So it's just kind of funny that I guess, being in Wisconsin, you just figured that's how everybody makes them, but apparently not. So kind of interesting. So the next one, now I suppose we can do this one. So the next one, like I said, is an old-fashioned, but this is a Brandy Old-Fashioned. Now, you were able to read the deets on the first one.
And this is the same. It's 8%, 16 proof. Old-fashioned, made with North Wisconsin brandy, whatever that means. Yeah. Brandy, I think, is more of a northern Midwest thing, though, because I know when we like to cruise, and they don't really have, they'll have, like, cognac and that's like
I've never
aged
had
or
that.
cognac. I think isn't cognac like
I've heard
a type of brandy or something?
Well,
I don't even know. But
kind of a shirt tail relation to almost to a wine.
Oh,
but I don't know. I've never actually had cognac. But yeah, you don't find as many brandies around as you do bourbons. You know, now this one is
more red.
More red. I mean, I guess you could say it's a color of an old fashioned.
It smells like an old fashioned.
Oh, wow.
It smells really good.
All right.
I hope I'm not disappointed.
I hope. You know, so let's give this a shot.
That doesn't taste bad.
That's not bad.
That's good.
That is not bad.
Yeah.
That is better than the vodka lemonade one.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
I taste the orange. I taste the cherry.
You get the cherry, but that orange, I think, overpowers it a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's, again, like a secondary flavor almost.
Right. That's kind of if people like whiskey old fashions, one of the popular ones now is that Jameson orange, using Jameson orange to make an old fashioned. So
Jameson, like the Irish whiskey.
The Irish whiskey, yep.
Huh. Because of the orange, I suppose. It gives it that little more of a punch. Interesting.
This is good. I would drink more than one of these. And we're not drinking them on ice.
No.
Which we're just drinking them straight, which...
You know, on the aftertaste, I definitely get the orange.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's a good orange. It's not, it's not a...
It's not the orange zest, like the real bitter, you know?
Yeah.
Wow. That is wild.
Very good.
Score-wise on this one, I like this. I think I'm going to go like a 3.
Oh, I would definitely go 3, 2.
Yeah, I think this is...
I'm not a big brandy drinker because I had an episode one time with brandy. We won't go into that.
No.
But I don't drink a lot of brandy. And if I have an old-fashioned, I'm a Southern Comfort or a Bourbon Old-Fashioned person versus the brandy.
Yep. Boy, if you're ever in the, is it the Melrose area in Wisconsin, there's a little restaurant out in the middle of nowhere. It's called the Monkey's Roost.
The Monkey's Roost. It's been there forever.
Yep. And the gentleman that
owns it, his name is Kevin. I don't know his last name.
And he's the bartender. I mean, I think every time we've ever been there, he's been bartending. Oh, yeah. He makes probably the most amazing old-fashioned. And it was funny, one time we were talking, the story starts out in northern Wisconsin. We were talking to a younger guy that was working at a resort, and we asked him how many old fashions he's made. And he said, well, in 5 years, I've made about 50,000. And I thought, man, that's a lot of old fashions. And then we were at the Monkey's Roost, and we talked to Kevin, and I go, how many, I was telling him that story, and I go, how many do you think you've made? And he goes, well, first off, I've been doing this for 40 years. He goes, and in that time, I'm pretty sure I'm over 500,000. And I totally believe him because I don't know how many he makes when we're just sitting there waiting for a table or whatever. I mean, everybody gets old fashions there. Yeah. And it's kind of an old fat time supper club kind of thing. Very, very typical Wisconsin supper club where you walk in and there's a bar that's dimly lit and you get your before dinner drink and put your name in for a table. And they have a nice little salad bar, have a great fish fry. They have one of the best seafood platters ever. Oh, yeah, that's very good. And they actually have German heritage and used to have quite a bit on their German menu, but I believe now if you call ahead, you can get some things. But they used to have like pork hocks and sauerkraut and different German kinds of schnitzels and things, German potato salad, that kind of thing. But yeah, very good. Very typical Wisconsin supper club. Oh, yes. Yeah. Very much so. But like I said, boy, you want a good old-fashioned, go there. And one of his trademarks was always to give, I think back in the day, I can remember, my dad's been dead for, 35 years. We would go and they would, when they gave change, I think the old fashions might have been like $1.50 or something like that. Back in the day. And he would give you a 50-cent piece. As change. And I think he still does. Yeah, he still does that, I think. I'm sure the old fashions. I think the old fashions are more like $6.50 or $7.50, but the change is still 50-cent pieces. So that's pretty wild. It's kind of their signature deal. So yeah, and they have not, other than maybe the kitchen, I'm not sure, but as far as the decor is the exact same as when I went there when I was with my parents when I was 12 years old. And really? And I'm going to be pushing just slightly 50, over 58 this year. Yeah. Interesting. But there's other restaurants we've been to as well that, yes, it's like a time warp at times, but it's like, if it works, why change it? Yeah. Honestly. For sure. We have some friends that will occasionally, like during the winter, pick a Saturday in a month and do a different
supper club, like travel a little ways to go to a different supper club. What was the name of the last one you went to? The one in, is it Trempealeau or Galesville?
Was it Galesville or Ettrick or one of those? No,
not Ettrick. It's, was it Wash? Started with a W.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. I should have wrote it down.
I should have. I'll look it up.
But it's funny because there is like a coffee table book out there about Wisconsin supper clubs.
Oh, I think I bought it for you, didn't I? Or no? No, that's breweries.
No, that's breweries, yeah. But yeah, it's rather interesting. And said that to say this. That was a pretty good ready-to-drink cocktail. I was impressed. We have one more. And again, this is their Leineage and their Central Standard. Now, I think that's the distillery that partnered with them, I believe, on
Craft
these.
Distillery. Yep.
So the
logo is kind of cool. It's this guy, and he's got like a big,
like a still or something,
on his back.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We'll take a picture and post it so you can get to see it. This one is their Bourbon Old-Fashioned, so it should have a little different flavor than the brandy. So we'll see here how it is. So I don't know if you're ready, and I'm sure, is this also the 16 proof?
Correct.
Okay, and was there any
Old-Fashioned? Made with bourbon whiskey.
Okay. Short, sweet, and to the point. So it'll be interesting because the one thing I remember when we were talking to Kevin about it, he basically said you can make an old-fashioned out of any kind of booze. Because he was like, oh yeah, I make all sorts of them out of scotch and out of this and out of that. And
I wouldn't think you'd make it out of gin, though.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so. Or tequila or anything. I don't know. But he was just like, yeah, you make it out of anything. So... And I'm sure with the amount that he's made, he's probably tried or had people ask for it. So, all right. So this one looks pretty similar in color to the brandy. Maybe a little bit darker, maybe. Ooh, you smell the
bourbon?
Smell a little bit of a bourbon smell. A little bit of almost a deeper smell. Kind of a darker smell.
It's different.
Definitely different. Interesting. I might have to take another taste of it because it's got a different thing to it. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I know I've had old fashions with bourbon before, but I'm trying to think if they tasted like
Wasson's Supper Club. Wason. Right on Highway 54. And one of the cool things about Wasson's is their bar has like on the back side, there are steps and they have like little baby Jesus chairs. Yes. So the bar is like the bartender's like below you.
Yeah.
And you are kind of sitting in these chairs.
Like an elevated.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
It was different.
Yeah. I remember they used to have that in, I think it was West Salem at the Westview. I think they used to have a back bar like that. I haven't been there in years either to see if they still have that, but that was pretty cool. And, they always have, like the popcorn and and the games. Now so much they don't have like the bowling games or I don't know, do you remember the trap shoot duck game? Yep. They don't have those now. They have the poker machines pretty much.
Right, yeah.
But
no, it's just a little different.
Yeah.
So, it's not bad.
It's not bad, but I wonder if we had tried them in reverse order, if it would have been different.
Boy, because I hate to say it, but I
almost like the brandy better.
I like the brandy one better almost. It's a little bit sweeter. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't get as much as the orange.
No, I think the bourbon might kind of knock it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know, but it has a different flavor to it. Again, it's not offensive or anything like that, but it's definitely different. And, I'm sure if you were a huge bourbon, and I like bourbon, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, of these three, I think that this is my number 2. So for a score, what are you thinking?
Oh, I definitely liked it better than the cherry.
Yep.
Maybe like a 2.7.
Okay. That's
2.6, 2.7.
I was going to say a 2.6 is what I was going, a little better than average. But I do think, like I said, of those three, I think my order is the brandy, then the bourbon, then the cherry lemonade.
Yeah.
But that is interesting. I'm glad that we tried them. Because like I said, I've never even heard of them before. And it's been a while since we've tried any kind of cocktails. So we got 2 other ones that we're going to try as well. A little different they're not made by Leineage or anything like that. So I'm not exactly sure what they're going to be like. So we're going to give them a whirl and keep our fingers crossed that hopefully they're decent. Are you...
I'm not quite done.
Not quite done? Okay. Yeah, I may have to try that brandy one again when we're done. Mm-hmm. So the next one we have is the Crown Royal Peach Whiskey.
Whiskey lemonade peach.
Okay. So this should be interesting because you're not necessarily a big
I'm not a big peach fan.
And peach is okay. I'd rather have mango, I guess, for a flavor. But we'll see how this is. So we had vodka, we had brandy, we had bourbon, and now we're at Crown Royal.
I can smell the peach already.
Oh, jeepers, yeah. That's a lot of peach.
It's like half a foot away from me and I can smell it.
It's definitely peachness. Kind of that peach color, you know.
You know what it smells like? Shirley's Peach Moonshine.
Yeah, it sure does. I was going to say it almost had no, that's definitely peach. At first I was going to say like a tangerine kind of smell, but no, that's peach. That's
so my sister
peach.
Shirley makes a makeshift moonshine with peaches in it. And that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's...
So you took the first sip. What is it?
I took the first sip. It's peachy.
Holy peach.
I was going to say...
Wow. That's like biting into like...
It's peachy.
I mean, it's good. I mean, if you like peach, I think it's like biting into like a fresh peach.
Right.
You know?
It's almost... I don't want...
Without the slurpy stuff going down your face.
Right. It's almost like it's more...
I don't get a lemonade, though.
No, I don't either. I get 100% peach. I'm trying to think... Especially compared to the last one, that bourbon one. This one seems like the taste is almost more of a brighter, you know what I mean? More of a, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, whoa, you know. But boy, it is
very peachy
all day long. That is for sure. Did we see what the percent was?
7% right here.
Oh. Yep, 7%, so 14 proof. So just 1% under the other. So it's in the same category, you know, as far as ABV goes.
It's not bad. I mean, I think this is a little better than the Bourbon Old-Fashioned.
I was going to say the bourbon.
Even though I'm not a big peach fan.
Right. It's good. I mean, it's different.
There's a lot of peach going on there.
A lot of peach. I think I could do one.
Maybe.
And I think maybe then it would be, I got enough peach. I'm going to get something else.
Does it say that it's blended Canadian whiskey, lemon, comma, peach, punctuation, and other natural flavors?
I don't know if like you said, I don't know if I get a lemon flavor. Maybe right after you swallow and right before the peach really kicks in, but that's the only spot I could really even somewhat pick up any of a lemonade type flavor. So this is interesting. 21 plus. It has right on the can, it says 21 plus, except USVI, US Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico, which is 18. I didn't realize they only had to be 18 to drink in Puerto Rico or the Virgin Islands. Interesting.
Yeah. I learned something new today.
Yeah, see? On the side of a peach can.
Drink responsibly.
Score-wise, I do agree with you. I think I like this one a little bit better than that bourbon one. I went 2.7 on the bourbons. I'll go 2.8. It wasn't as good as the brandy, my opinion, but it's good. But like I said, I could drink a can of it, I think, and then I'd probably get peached out a little bit. I wouldn't want to sit and drink this all night, my opinion. And
for not being a peach fan, it's not offensive to me.
Yeah, that's the part that's interesting because I've never had any of these. And usually I'm not a big, cocktail in a can person, but this is our third episode that we've done some of these and they're good. I give them credit. There's some good ones. Yes. Well, yeah, or whatever. But there are times when it's like, wow, that's not bad, So we got one left and this one is going to be somewhat interesting. This is made by Welch's. Like the juice people. And right on the top of the can.
The alcohol game.
Yep. Right on top of the can, it says, contains alcohol.
And then it says, what does it say? Welch's Craft Cocktails. Ready to drink. Vodka cranberry. Vodka with natural flavors. Real fruit juice. 5.9% alcohol by volume. 12 fluid ounces.
So you would think, for juice-wise, Welch's should have the advantage over all these other ones, wouldn't you?
Hypothetically.
Because, Welch's, that's what they were known for, is fruit juice. So so this is vodka cranberry, you say cranberry lemonade?
Or just cranberry.
Vodka cranberry.
So if you had issues with your kidneys.
This should, see?
There you go.
You can tell your doctor, look at
functional.
Fun. Not only do we entertain, but we educate.
Right.
So Suzy's just reading the
can here. Oh, I think they're bottled in New Berlin, Wisconsin. Produced by Coop Beverage Works, New Berlin, Wisconsin.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Now, this one I did pick up at the beer shop. And They had two. They had the cranberry and they had a grape one, I believe. But the last time our daughter was home, she took that one.
She's a big fan of the juice ones.
Yeah. So she tried it and she said it was very good. So we'll see how the vodka cranberry. Now this one I would think would be red. Wouldn't you think? I would think. I don't know.
Pink.
Oh, it's red.
It's really red.
It is really red.
So
like cranberry juice.
Mm-hmm. And we are in cranberry country. For those of our listeners that are not from the Midwest, Wisconsin is a very large producer of cranberries. We have a little town not far from here. Actually, my father was born in Warrens, Wisconsin, and they have every year in September, towards the end of September, during the cranberry harvest, they have what's called Warrens Cranberry Fest. And it's a craft swap meet type festival. They have a parade. They have royalty, the cranberry queen, and all of that. And the very first Warren's Cranberry Fest I remember going to, my parents owned, believe it or not, a ceramic studio, which my mother still has all of the molds in the basement. We went there to display our wares, and we were one of 30 booths that they had at the very first Warren's Cranberry Fest.
Really?
And now they have over 3,000.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, and they bus people in from all over. It's a huge revenue generator for the area.
That is
obviously
wild.
Because Warren's itself is unincorporated.
Right.
They have a little post office. They have a fire
brewery
department
there too.
Yep, they do have a brewery there, but that's been there
couple years.
Couple years.
Yep. Bog's Edge.
Yeah, we were there a
month or two ago.
2
months ago, maybe.
Yeah, it's out in the middle of nowhere, Warren's.
So when you first were there was 30 booths.
30
now
booths.
There's 3,000.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. The last year that we were there, I think we went probably 5 or 6 years. And the last year that we were there, it was always the last weekend in September. It was so cold, we had snowmobile suits on because it snowed. And my dad was like, we're done with this. And they were getting older at that point. And it was a lot of work because ceramics obviously are breakable.
Oh, yes.
So every day you had to tear down and put things away and all of that. So it was a lot of work for... At the time, there weren't that many people, but I don't even know how many people they draw now. I should look it up.
I don't know.
It's wild. A crazy amount of people that come through the area. The last time that I went with a friend, you have to make it all day because you got to get there early if you're going to get a good parking spot. And then you have to take a cooler and you have to take, things to drink.
Beverage of choice.
And some snacks and some lawn chairs. And because every time you need to unload, you want to park close so that you can go to the car, drop off your stuff, and then have a little snacky, have a little beverage.
So is it basically it takes over the entire town?
Oh, there's a huge fields and all of the streets are shut down.
So like in people's yards and stuff, do they have
Oh,
booths
absolutely.
there?
There are so many booths there that there are some people that are not very smart and decide to bring like strollers and kids and dogs and that kind of thing. But there's hardly room for a row of people to go through each way down the aisles. But they do have like, I don't think they necessarily have like a map of the vendors, but I know that they'll have all the food kind of in one area and then like the swap meet, like flea market stuff might be in one spot, but then they'll have crafts or homemade items like, like lotions or soaps or, woodworking or antler art. Or I think the last time I was there, I bought that antler chandelier from that guy in Fairchild.
So I would imagine if a person or whatever, if they're going every year, they probably get maybe the same booth space.
Yes, they do. And and so people that go, if they've been going, they know where to go back.
Right. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yep.
Well, hey, why don't we try this vodka cranberry from Welch's and see if they know what they're doing? Tastes like cranberry juice. Mm-hmm. I didn't get a lot of aroma.
No, not a lot of vodka either, which is not a bad thing.
No, for sure. But yeah, I don't know. It's
very cranberry. It's very tart.
Cranberry. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. I suppose you'd really have to put a lot of vodka in there to kind of dilute that cranberry flavor. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's when people have a vodka cranberry, that's what they're more wanting is that cranberry. I can say this, it definitely has a little better flavor than most of the cranberry beers that I've ever had. Usually those are not the best for some reason on the taste scale. But this one, it's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's...
But I definitely wouldn't be drinking it all day.
No. So the 2024 festival donated $97,000 to local organizations.
Wow.
It's a fundraiser for a lot of people and things. Doesn't have, you would think they'd have like fun facts page or something.
Well, I think the one thing we can get out of that is go, if you're going to go early.
Yep, got to go early.
Interesting. I have never been there, and I'm guessing that there's so much stuff that I would probably run out of gas before we got through.
You wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
It's not a guy thing. It's more of a chick thing.
Sure. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's good. So.
Yeah. I mean, cranberry.
It's definitely cranberry. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I don't mind it. I don't mind drinking cranberry.
The juice part of it is good. Yeah. I mean, take another sip. Cranberry is tart anyway. It might be good with a little spritzer of Starry or like Diet 7 or something.
I just don't taste any vodka.
Which it's 7%. So
yeah, so it's
5.9.
Almost 5. So this is the lowest. So.
This is the lowest.
Okay.
Which is
again, it's not
bad.
Not bad.
It could sneak up on you if you don't taste the vodka.
I would agree. If somebody just thought they were drinking cranberry juice all day, then I think it would get you in trouble.
I don't think I could have more than one.
No,
it's very tart.
It's got and it's good. I like cranberry juice, but it does have that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like it dries your mouth out at the end, Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's not like having where they have like the cran raspberry or the,
cran
the juice
or
that
whatever,
has a little bit of sweetness to it. There's no sweetness in this whatsoever.
No, not at all. Mm-hmm. Well, all right. So I guess score wise, I
think the cherry vodka lemonade is probably the worst one for me.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then the vodka cranberry.
Yeah.
And then the bourbon.
Score-wise, I'm going to put that vodka cranberry at like a 2-3.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. So I think we're pretty much in agreement. So we're going to put the cherry vodka is number 5. Welch is number 4. The Bourbon Old-Fashioned is 3. The Peach, surprisingly, is 2. And we're gonna have the winner be the Brandy Old-Fashioned from Leinenkugel.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's another company that has like a canned Brandy Old-Fashioned too. We should probably try to.
It's I don't know if they make it, but isn't it like branded under the Drink Wisconsinably?
I think so.
Yeah. So we'll have to look for that. And like I said, I do know that Leinenkugel has a new flavor coming out.
Yeah, and that is
it's a Rocket Pop.
Rocket Pop, yeah.
So I don't know. I'm guessing it's going to taste maybe like a Bomb Pop. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. And like I said, the nice thing when I found the Leinenkugel ones, they were at Quick Trip in Wisconsin. I can't say they're going to be in any other states that a Quick Trip is in. Or maybe they're not at every location, but they were where I was at. And you could buy a 4-pack of them or individual cans. So I just bought one of each of them to try them today. It was interesting. I'm glad we did it. And like I said, we'll definitely try the Bomb Pop. And
it's called Rocket Pop.
Rocket Pop. I'm sorry.
Yep, Rocket Pop.
So I'm sure Bomb Pop is trademarked. So,
right. So blue raspberry and real. So that one is cherry flavored vodka, blue raspberry and real lemonade.
Okay. Well, we'll see. The one thing I've noticed, it doesn't matter who made them so far, the lemonade doesn't stand out very well.
Not so much. I do think we need to look at, before we close, we should go back and just look up that O'so stuff.
Oh, yes.
So O'so.
Look up O'so gluten-free. I'm trying to remember if there was any other things. Like you said, that
trying to remember
coconut water thing was.
They were on the end.
The coconut water one?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what was that?
They were over by the Humble Forager van, but that's a brewery. Mm-hmm. And they were over on that right next to them. It wasn't that beatbox thing. That was a different another
one.
Thing. I should have wrote it down.
O'so Brewery?
Yep.
O-S-O, right?
Yep. O''S-O.
Oh, it's O''.
Yep. I'll look as well. Meaningful Brewing Company.
Mm-hmm.
And it says they also have gluten-free options on their menu, including pizza and other dishes. Meaningful Brewing Company is a 100% gluten-free brewery focused on making great tasting, low ABV, gluten-free beers. So that one, like I said, I
wonder if it's certified gluten-free, they probably have to have it separated from their other.
I would
so
guess.
They probably
wouldn't be
have,
able to run it through the same machines.
Right.
They're in Plover, Wisconsin. I've not been to their the newer building. When we were there, it was in a like a strip mall, just like it was a tasting room, and the brewery were in the strip mall. So let's see. Okay, gluten-free spirits. They also have their hashtag collection of spirits are also gluten-free and GMO free. Let's see. So yeah, they also have a line of 70% dark chocolate bars that are also gluten-free.
Oh.
So that's interesting. Because again, like we said, our friend, she is like deathly allergic to gluten. And we did go with them to a brewery up in the cities that was gluten-free, and they had the food, snacks, everything was gluten-free. But I think they use sorghum in their beer, so it does have a little bit different flavor.
What did they use? Did it say?
I did not see. Let me look. Do you have anything you want to talk about while I'm looking?
I was just trying to look up that coconut
the
alcohol drink at
right. What did I say? It was Meaningful.
Meaningful.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. Meaningful Brewing Company. All right. At Meaningful Brewing Company, we've embarked on a mission to redefine the boundaries of gluten-free beer or gluten-free brewing, ensuring that everyone can enjoy the rich flavors and aromas of exceptional beer. We meticulously select gluten-free grains and ingredients to create a range of brews that captivate the palate. At Meaningful, and this is kind of interesting from a marketing standpoint. It's capital M, EANIN, capital G, capital FUL.
Oh, so gluten-free.
So gluten-free.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's pretty cool. And so they make a pink guava sour, a hazy IPA, and a dark mild is what it's called. And I'm trying to see if it says what they used. Because I know that the gentleman that was at Between the Bluffs did tell us, and it's not saying on here. Let's see if I blow up it up and it gets real pixelated.
I want to say it was like the coconut water thing was like 0 something, or
it could be. It could have been, but it was really good. And when you said, "Here, taste this," I had no idea that that was 5% ABV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was the cool thing about it was not carbonated. So if you have friends that can't do carbonation, we have a friend that can't do anything with bubbles in it, and she loves the Happy Thursdays,
right?
Which we've done on here before, I think, haven't we? Have we done the Happy Thursdays?
Think we've done those yet.
They're by Leine's as well, aren't they?
They could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've never. I don't think we've done those. We've done carbless a couple times because we did the regular and then the margarita flavors.
Yeah.
And then these. So
yeah, but the Happy Thursdays it's almost like drinking a juice, which is kind of scary because you can just drink it and you don't, those bubbles don't get you full.
Gotcha.
But
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So yeah, I guess I'd say the Brandy Old-Fashioned is the winner today.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, stop by Quick Trip or wherever else they're sold. I'm sure that's not the only place, but that was the closest place to us. Pick them up. Like I said, you can get them in 4-packs, or you can buy just individual cans. I think they'll be worth your while to try them. Like I said, the vodka, the cherry vodka one, I think they need to tweak a little bit, but they were good. And the other two, I mean, all of these actually, they were good. Just kind of varying degrees of goodness, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. We're kind of dedicating this episode to the Mary Moo Cow girl, Callie, who, when she was younger, liked the Mary Moo Cows. But this weekend is going to be graduating from college. I can't believe she's that old.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty crazy. So.
Yep. The pigtails and Mary Moo Cows have turned into other adventures in
college basketball and life in general.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
pretty crazy. And I just can't figure out how she's 22 because I'm only 26. So.
And she actually got to see her first armadillo.
Yeah.
In Missouri. It was dead on the road, but I didn't know that they had armadillos there, but apparently they do.
You learn something every day.
Yeah. So kudos and shout out to Cal for making it 4 years and
going on to her master's degree and life jobs and all big person jobs.
Adulting.
There you go.
It's not always that fun. So
no.
Yes, but Yeah, she'll hopefully be home soon to be able to join us at her special place. She's named after the lake that we have our camper on, Callahan Lake in Hayward, Wisconsin.
Yep.
So she'll be able to go up there and enjoy a little bit of time this summer.
And now that she's done with basketball, I'll be having her on the podcast at some point because we just didn't want to do anything that could be bad, So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you really enjoy this. And like I said, try these canned cocktails. They've honestly been really surprising to me because sometimes you just got to have something other than beer at times. And like I said, I think these are all worth your while to try. And
if it's in a can, you don't have to worry about the pour. I'm a heavy pourer, and can sometimes get out of hand.
Yeah, so. There you go.
It's all measured for you.
Yeah, you just pour it into your glass or into your mouth, so you're good. Well, awesome. Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. And like we always say, I hope your campfire is always warm.
And your beer is always cold.
See ya.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untapped, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.